Hello everybody, Raina here. I was wanting to do a video of getting requested to do breeding videos, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a short introduction on breeding the Andrewsarchus that I'm working on, and I would like to do an auction house mod review. I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance in case there's any screaming again in the background. My son is a gamer, and he's on his Xbox right now playing, and my son is also, my daughter is also a gamer. She's not nearly as loud, but my son likes to scream and holler a lot. So if you hear any screaming and hollering, it's him. I'd like to show you around on my base. I breed a lot on a Genesis 2 base. For the raw buff, we have the S Plus mod. So I use the propagators mainly. This is where I have my Andrewsarchus. I use 24 females at the moment. I'm also working on phoenixes. There's my males. I'm doing 3 stats right now. And my Traveler, he also breeds a lot. He's been working on sea creatures, breeding them up. This is where we keep a lot of our finished products, our finished dinos. In this box is the A through G. Of course, we ran out a lot of room, but there's Glowtails. I think it's pronounced Dunkleosteus, Basculus, Basilosaurus, Ankies, Diabears. I bred up the Amargasaurus. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. We have just finished Anglers. And you can see a lot of our other ones. The H through R box. There's our Megalodons. We also have the dolphins. I cannot pronounce the Ichthyosaur. I also bred up the Listosaurus. This is the Megalosauruses. We use them for the Rockwell fight. S through V. Shinehorn, Ceramicons. I just got through with these guys. They're so cute. Our wyverns and Meteoranus. Now, if all of you don't use a Dino Soul mod, we have that. And I catch them whenever I hatch the eggs through the terminal here. I use the newborn trap to turn it on, and it will catch them as you hatch the eggs. That way you don't have all the dinos on the floor and have to keep climbing them all. There goes. See it hatching out. If you don't use the S Plus mod for the propagators, all propagator dinos, when you breed them in there, all of them create eggs, even males. And here they are. Looks like some of them had twins, so I have to go through them, find their stats. Okay, there's the health. There's melee damage, speed, stamina, weight, food, another food, and triplets. Yeah, triplets and food, so we're only going to take one. And then oxygen. Now, breeding all stats, our server is set up to where you breed all stats up to 2. Either if it's an odd number, it goes to 253. If it's an even number, it goes to 254. And when all stats are bred up to 254, you can get a 1779 dino. Now, even if it's female, what you can do, you can go into the propagator, having used a mutator for 10 elements to trim the swamp, you can go into the propagator. And then babies right now. If you go to underneath here, you can switch it to male for 1 element. So it won't cost us 10 elements, it's only 1 element. So it's, on that side it's cheaper. And whenever I set them out in the CI, we also have the nanny for the S Plus mod, but whenever I'm breeding the babies, I don't nearly set them to the nanny for imprinting. Don't worry about that. I also play on the boosted server, so it doesn't take as long for them to grow. But whenever I'm going through, this is how I do it, whenever I change the names, remember what mutation we're on here. We're going to be on mutation 9, which is the 9th round. Mutation 9, and this is health, I abbreviate health, level 110. This is melee damage. This one's going through the floor, that's why you see the bouncing. There's all 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this dead on here to heal them, and then I'm going to pulse them. Create, boost, growth, pulse. All of these have different settings here. Get a change mode you could do to mutate laying mutated eggs. That's for the mutations like you're going to do the stat. Swap gender, random gender to nearby genderless dinos. That breed, normally that can't breed. Imprint, stop them from aging or cause nearby adult dinos to grow much more rapidly. That's the one that we want. And they'll be grown in just a few minutes. The server I play on is a cluster. I will link the server name and all the mods that we use in the description below. This is a great server, great bunch of people on here. They taught me how to breed, my tribe leader did. I'm going to show you our base, and then I'm going to come down and do an auction house review. With the S Plus mod, we have vivariums, and they do resources in there for you to have. Depends upon what dino is in there. Griffins do element shards. That's how we kind of farm our element. Basculus. 45 per vivarium is what we found to be useful. But if you look up S Plus vivarium, you'll see that the resources, there's a list of each one. Aquatics do different. Herbivores do different. And carnivores do different. There's our sleeping area. There's a griffin on top of the elevator. As you can see, the stats on the griffin, 253 or 254 means 253 was an odd number, 254 means it was an even number. So this one is level 1776 solid black griffin that we bred up. This is our crafting room. These are our dedicated storages. The vivariums will send it to it. Here's the other side. There's our replicator and the transmitter. That's how we get off the ark into another ark. Resources over there. Our tech forge. Tech stove, we just finally got that one back. Tech fridge. Tech pot. our graveyard. We have the tombstone mod on here. I am going to start breeding dire wolves next, so I went out and caught one. A gas bag. He holds the metal for the auction house. Now I really like this auction house. I use this a lot to sell the dinos that I breed up. This one does eggs. You can list your eggs on here. This one does your normal products like chibis, weapons. You could put let's see, get to the next page. There's more chibis. I also put mine wipes, kibble. You can list all kinds of items on here. See, somebody's got a saddle up. There's the mine wipes I put up. I put the mine wipes. I sell a lot of them. This kibble says, medical brew. And here's the one where you can list your dinos. Now, to list your dinos, you have to put them on a transporter. At least a foot on here for it to recognize as it's standing on it. So I usually can do about 1 to 2 big ones and a bunch of little ones. Sometimes 3 big ones, depending on what size. So it shows you the level. If you click on it, shows you the level dino. I neutered my dinos, the ones that we breed up, because we don't want people to turn around and breed bomb with them or turn around and sell their own out of our own dinos that we bred up. It's all a lot of work to breed them up. And so you want to list one. You see, if you put a dino on there, it will pick it up right there. And it has all these that you can, you can request that people pay you with. Now I know a lot of people are not going to have a lot of polymer at first, or rare flour, or rare mushroom, or salt, or sand. So I usually just use metal ingot, hide. Who's going to have 100,000 human hair? Red gems, who wants to go to Aberration and have to farm all that? Element shark, I know that they're not going to have all that. So I usually use either chitin, hide, or metal ingots. Easiest for people to farm up, because mainly I like to sell just to help the server out. And you have to pay with metal ingots to list things. What's that? Lag back to it. And if you put an inventory manifest, you have to craft an inventory manifest and put the metal in here, or whatever you're going to pay with, and the inventory, recognize that inventory manifest, and it'll pull it out of your dino or a box or whatever you have it in. And all that stuff is right here that you can craft with. Now the auction house does not have a decay timer on it, so we just put everything on foundations, so that way whenever somebody quits, it'll just fall with it. And if not, we'll have to get an admin to go blow it. And they're usually not too happy about that. My mannequins I have. I took a Trimember's dermis and turned him into a cupid. He just laughed about it. Matter of fact, that's him over here. He's been laying here for 3 days out of a tech pod. Hope he survives. Because his food's going way down. Yep, that's a tribe member that just loaded in. He just joined the tribe. He's a pretty cool guy. And the list of sources that we bred up. I turned them aberrant and they glow in the dark. You see them glowing, they're really, really sweet. Yeah, but I just wanted to do a quick video on introductions on that. I will do one soon, a more in-depth video on breeding. You see how fast these guys just became adults. With the spyglass mod, you can see that they're now full-grown adults. And if you guys have any, what would you like to see with colors for them, or any suggestions, feel free to leave it below. But this is a little operation, a little base. You can hear the waterfall in the background. Over here on Genesis 2, the waterfall. But I will catch y'all later for the more in-depth video on the breeding that we do and how we get such high stats.